Heidi ho neighbors, Radagoji here, and welcome back to Link's Awakening Randomizer. And when we last left off, I broke the game, and I have since started over the game. I had to start over because I soft locked it. I watched through the videos again, basically went and gotten all of the pickups and chests that I had gotten before. So while I don't have as much of the map explored, like I haven't gone in every single cave because I already know what's in there, I have cleared the dungeons that I've cleared, I've gotten the items that I've gotten, and I'm making double sure not to enter that cave ever again, or at least until I have flippers of the hook shot. But until then, that area is verboten. So when we last left off, that's what happened. Today, as I record, this is, I believe, September 19th? September 19th, yes. It's a Wednesday. I normally do have Wednesdays off, but I've also taken off time from work for the rest of the week, just because I wanted some time off. And I don't normally have time off for myself. I don't think I've ever really had time off except for to go on like family trips. So, or even trips to MagFest. I mean, I haven't been to MagFest in a couple of years, but still, the same principle is there. I haven't really taken. Now that I think about it, I actually have taken vacations off where I haven't gone anywhere, staycations, if you will. But that's basically because there was some time left over from the last year that I would have to, use up or lose it. But this is actually one of those times where I preemptively took time off rather than just going ahead and waiting. So I'm going over to Tail Cave here because we have the Tail Cave key. We did not enter here last time, but this is the first video I've done with the exception of the podcast pilot. Oh, there's a piece of heart right there, but we need the Pegasus boots. One moment, please. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, thinking of things to say. So, as I was saying before, this is actually, barring the podcast pilot, this is the first video I've made since I came back from my break, so good few weeks in, and, yeah, there were a bunch of points where I wasn't uploading anything for whatever reason, mostly because of laziness, because that's the usual excuse when it comes to this sort of thing, but there was also the, kind of the hurricane scare that went on last week, and, up here in Virginia, luckily, we haven't gotten much. A couple of days ago, there were some tornadoes that actually touched down, probably due to the tropical depression. But we didn't really get any of the main hurricane at all. Luckily, it had shrunken down enough so that when it hit, it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. My thoughts are were of course with those who were affected by the hurricane, especially in North Carolina. Luckily over here, we in Virginia here, we just kind of dodged a bullet there. Got some rupees out of that chest that was a piece of heart. Let's see what the witch's hut is, real quick. Eagle's Tower once again. With the Maeve Village theme. That's kind of a weird coincidence there. As I write that down. I'm going to try to get a little bit more consistent with how I make jump cuts. I probably should have allowed myself to jump cut there. Almost said a very naughty word. But yeah. So it's over here. This is... Actually, there's a secret seashell we can get there. And then, again, going to try not to get any more on purpose until we find... Actually, no, we can get one more before we miss out on our second freebie. But then again, we never know what's going to be in a lot of these chests. So there's a good chance that we may just get one. I don't remember exactly what this is. All of these... watery, like needing flippers areas are kind of run the same to me, so I'm really not sure what it is off the top of my head, but I will just mark this as need flippers. One moment. But I am going to try to be a little bit more consistent on how I jump cut things. Why can't I say jump cut properly? I swear, it's really annoying me now. there are just some places where I just kind of cut out parts that don't really need to be, like longer traveling stuff. I'll try to, but you know, if we haven't been to a place in the seed so far, I'll try to, you know, keep whatever in. But I'm probably going to try to do, like, you know, whenever I'm writing down notes, obviously, I'm going to cut that out. Just got to make it more clear to myself in post-production and stuff. When to, for post-production, I should say. When to cut stuff like that out. I'm also going to try to not focus a lot on boss battles, because we've seen them. You know, this will be the third time we'd be fighting these bosses on camera, so I'm not really going to go too much into detail. But I'm going to write down that's the Photoshop, and that's also very useless to us, so one moment, please. Okay, now let's head over to the graveyard, because there is one cave at the very least we can get to. Again, we can't get to the color dungeon without the Pegasus boots, or the color dungeon entrance without the Pegasus boots. We have done the color dungeon already, but as far as the actual entrance, we absolutely need the Pegasus boots to do the, so that we can look at the book that has the, how to do in it. Again, more needing flippers. In fact, I'm fairly sure we've seen the other half of this. This is, this leads to, Soft Lock Land. So if we had the flippers, we would have just been able to come out on the graveyard and not even worry about that. In fact, I'm fairly sure this is the rapid access cave. I mean, not really an access, but, because normally that's cut off, but I'll just mark this as goes to Soft Lock Land, I guess. Alright, actually, I did have the other end of that down as raft access. That's the term I was using. So that's all of our current options in the central area expended. So let's take a look at Tall Tall Heights and see what that has to offer us. Hopefully the Pegasus boots. We're getting basically at a point where we have the first two dungeons beaten. The earliest two normal dungeons already beaten. So we're pretty much going to have to start finding more stuff if we want to take on any of the next dungeons. Like, we need Pegasus boots for almost everything. As it turns out, the Moblin Cave is Ylrira's house, so... Okay, let's check out the camera shop next. And see what's there. Photoshop, or whatever. Photoshop is a program. It's technically the camera shop. Now it's Angler's Tunnel. So we're going to have the flippers before we go back there. There really isn't too much we can... Well, we can access, like, Mount Tamarinch. See what's in that cave there. Because everything else in the area is, like, all gated off by water, pretty much. Because there's Angler's Tunnel, Mambo's Cave, which you have to swim to. The Angler's Tunnel escape caves, which, well, you need access to that. Then the stuff near the raft shop, so may as well check out here. One moment while I... There we go. The Tall Tall Mountain Range page. Because there are so many openings on this. I mean, just around Eagle's Tower we've seen, there are, you know, several entrances. That's why, like an entire page is taken up by Tall Tall Mountain Range. And even with it split into East and West, East has, like, the grand majority of things. So here's the Quadruplets house, which is nice, so we can dump our Yoshi doll off on them. And get the ribbon. So we're going to have to find the doghouse next to do that. Okay, so let's see where this goes. This goes here on the mountain range. One moment, please. And seeing that there really isn't any other place we can go, we may as well see what's around here. I'm just reminded of when the last seed when we had Bow Wow going up here, and the chains and everything would freak out whenever these mini Moldorms were on the screen, because I guess they have the same sort of properties as the chains. Isn't there a seashell around here? No, I'm thinking of somewhere on the other side. There's a piece of heart, though. Glad to take that. Alright, what's in here? Crazy Tracy's house, so we may as well buy a potion. And I don't know how much it's going to be, but we can afford it anyway. Well, that wasn't much at all, so it was probably like the lower range, like the 20-something rupees. I'm hoping we're not going to be, because hoping the Flamethrower Cave is going to have some. Come on, Flamethrower Cave, don't let us down. We need some progress. Progress is important. Please. Ooh, that's the escape cave. The east side of the escape cave. Okay, so I just looked through my notes real quick, and there is some place that we haven't looked at for whatever reason. I think I said I would take a look at it later, and I'm glad that I did because, well, I mean, I probably should have checked it out earlier, but the point is, we haven't gone to the animal village yet, even though we do have access to it. So I am kind of glad that I didn't do that in a way, because that means that now I have another option. So I just gotta remember how to get there. One moment while I look that up. Actually, lucky for us, the way to the animal village is just in here, so I didn't have to go far at all. That's great. So I guess something else I wanted to talk about was some, you know, upcoming videos and stuff. With me being on vacation of sorts, Greg and I are actually going to be doing something special. Well, I say special, but it's usually when if it's like a sort of a special occasion like this, where like it's like not a normal Thursday, or, you know, other things do come up as well, but the point is, a drunk run of something is going to be coming up. So yeah, that does mean that we are going to be getting even further behind on Deadly Premonition, because we haven't played that in over a month. But at the very least, Deadly Premonition has been still steadily going up. I just put up the last part of that today as of this recording. This should be going up to this video, or at least the first video of this session of Link's Awakening should be going up tomorrow, but we're going to do a fun drunk thing, as well as making our podcast. I want to try to make that a weekly thing, like I said before. I do have somewhat of a schedule in mind. Again, I'm not sure how well this will turn out, because, you know, me and scheduling things, it's always going to, you know, get messed up at some point because I get lazy, but the main schedule ideas I have for right now are Saturdays being the podcast parts will go up on Saturdays. Sundays will be a toy review, and then Monday through Thursday is planned to be Face Shrine music in the Animal Village. Monday through Thursday will be Let's Play uploads. And then on Fridays, of course, I normally don't get on my computer because I don't really have a chance to, so that's probably just going to be a day where I don't put anything up. But this Friday, I probably will, because I will have time, because I'm not going to work this Friday. But one moment while I flip to the right page here. And we got plenty of entrances in the Animal Village, so hopefully this will lead to something. This leads to the well, which gives us rupees. Alright, sorry about that. Was confirming something with my notes. I'm going to be doing that a lot here. So this house is the house by the bay. It was the house by the bay before, too. Isn't that something? Hopefully we can actually bring the ghost here. And get a secret seashell if need be. The goat's house is the Southern Face Shrine. I think I can actually clear this. Oh, I got some arrows. Great. I don't have a bow for them. But I think I can take this guy out with magic rod. Please say yes. Yes, I can. Very easily. Okay. This doesn't lead to anything. It does give us the face key, though. Alright, cool. Oh, and there's a chest here for some reason. I guess they put an extra chest there? I'm not going to read the tablet. There's no reason for that. So I'll just mark this as South Face Shrine and also clear it off, check it off, so that I know that I don't have to go in here again. And so Zora's, I believe this is Zora's house. This is the library, so that's going to be very important to know later. For when we have to knock down that book with the Pegasus boots to access the color dungeon entrance. And also, we need to come back here once we have the magnifying lens, of course, to figure out how to get through the Windfish's egg to beat the game. Bear's house is Mamu's cave. Once we have an ocarina, we will pay him a lot of money to hear a song. We cannot access Yarna Desert because we don't have Marin following us because we haven't beaten Key Cavern yet. Because we need the Pegasus boots to do that. I don't know why I'm warping. Because there's actually somewhere else I can go. But at the very least, I do have these places linked now. So that is something very nice. Something I can just access this area easily now, without having to memorize too many caves and whatnot. That's something I probably should do more, is stop relying too much on caves. I mean, I know that in the regular game there are places that you can only access by going through certain caves. And I guess it does sort of depend as well on like what kind of equipment I have. That's the Boomerang Cave. So I guess, yeah, but I'll you know, be better about doing warps and whatnot when it comes to just getting from place to place. The reason I brought up the kind of videos I'm going to be doing is because you know, something else I wanted to mention was, you know, just you know, shooting the shit. Not really just anything important. I've been getting a lot of stuff in the mail lately. You know, with look at the Bear's house is that phone booth, so that's good to know. Now that I think about it, I did do the Lupin Ranger vs. Patch Ranger toy review. The last one was done since my break was off. But you know, there were a couple things that I was hoping to have by now that I don't. I mean, I did just get the Power of the Prime's Terrorcons in, so I have those now. Got to mess around with those yesterday, but two things that I've pre-ordered that were, you know, I was supposed to have by this week, and I don't have them. So the first of them, which was, I mean, the companies. Oh, I never went down here. What's in here? Ooh. This is... What is this? Oh, this goes to Richard's house. This is Richard's Villa Cave. Well, that means Freaky Richard's going to be down here, isn't he? Yep, there he is, blocking our path. Oh, I see why he's there. So we don't necessarily get to... If we find a way in without having all the golden keys, then he blocks our progress if we don't have the golden keys. We need actually a hookshot to get there. That's why Freaky Richard is there. Okay. So... we don't really need to clear Canelet Castle. Okay. I know that, you know, it was something that I had thought about before. I'll get to that in a bit. Like, I just gotta remind myself that's what I was talking about. But anyway, so the vendors, the online vendors that I got these things from, both kind of acknowledged the fact that they're late. One of them was Fangamer, because the thing that I was getting from Fangamer was the, what do you call it? The collector's edition for Undertale for the Switch. And apparently they actually had like a legitimate reason for it. They ran out of slipcovers, I think, for the collector's edition. So they're not going to be able to ship them out until later this week. But much like the Japanese collector's edition, they're actually throwing in cleaning cloths. So I get something a little extra for my weight. So that's fine. It was nice of them to tell me, and I guess everyone else who ordered that. The other thing was Power of the Prime's Punch Counter Punch, which I pre-ordered a couple months ago. I also pre-ordered Repugnus around the same time. In fact, I talked about that on the previous seed for this. And so the way that Repugnus ended up working out, it almost didn't. The day that it was supposed to get to me, it didn't. It wasn't even shipped yet. Where am I even going? I think, since I don't really have anywhere else to go, I was heading toward Angler's Tunnel. I forgot where that is, even. One moment. It's in Tall Heights. Anyway. Actually, while I'm up in Tall Heights, I should probably unlock that other warp. That would be a good idea. So, the point is... So, what happened with that was, Repugnus actually got to me late, because it didn't... I guess, I don't know if I had gotten my pre-order in before everyone else. Probably not, because, you know, of how the Transformers stuff is. It's very, very, what's the word I'm thinking of? Resellable to most people. And, like I said in the Repugnus video, actually, I don't know if I mentioned it, but yeah, I did mention it. Repugnus himself, when I filmed that, was being resold for like $40. The deluxe class, not the Prime Master, or the Titan Master rather. Because it was a special edition thing, and I think that since then, the special edition Blastoff has also gone up on the secondhand market. And I've seen videos, like just previews of videos of people who already have Punch Counter Punch. And lo and behold, I mean, now with Repugnus, it did ship out like a few days later. So that's probably what's going to happen here. But Punch Counter Punch was supposed to get here today, and it still hasn't shipped yet. So I think it's just going to be like the same sort of thing as what happened last time, in all honesty. But I am still a little miffed, because I was actually hoping to have a video of that for this weekend, and that's not going to happen now. So, I mean, I have many other things that I can do. Do I have another key? Did I pick another key? No, I didn't. I have many other things that I can make videos off of. Like, you know, many of the other figures that I haven't done reviews for yet, but still kind of irks me, because that's the thing that I wanted to do. But, you know, Amazon just handled it the same way Amazon always does. They just send you an automated email saying, "This is late. Do you still want it?" Well, yeah, but, you know. Alright. Angler's Tunnel had naff all. Just all of the, except for, with the exception of the stone beak, just like all stuff for within the dungeon, so that sucks. So, what's the next number up, I guess? Because Key Cavern, we've explored all that we can of Key Cavern, and we had, like, everything that, like, we've done all of Key Cavern that we can do without the Pegasus boots. And we still don't have the Pegasus boots. So there's no point in going back to Key Cavern right now. I guess the next one would be Catfish's Maw, which I think was in the library? Alright, Catfish's Maw is in the South Face Shrine, so I'll meet you there. Just showing off real quick, unlocking this warp. But I'm also going to, before I go to the Catfish's Maw, I just remembered that I did find my way to the Face Shrine in the last session, and we have the Face Key now, so I'll meet you there, actually. One moment, please. Okay, so let's see what's in the Face Shrine. That's, kind of a big deal. I don't know why I was, I guess I just kind of forgotten that we'd found it, but, yeah, this is, you know, it's very important to do what you need to do. Oh, this is Seashell Mansion. So that's good. Do we have 10 secret seashells? We only have 9. But it's good to know that's there. So we can get our better sword, because, you know, the magic rod isn't as OP as we've come to believe it is. Either way, I'll meet you in Catfish's Maw. Alright, we're in Catfish's Maw now, down in the South Face Shrine, as where it has been relocated. I'm actually gonna... Wow. Alright, looks like I'm gonna actually have to have... Can I even get that now? Because it's replaced a chest that you need the hookshot to get to. And you can't bring the Flying Rooster into dungeons. So... I don't think I can get all the pieces of heart in this, even if I tried. That's great. So we're in... The thing with Catfish's Maw is that it's very, very hard to get anywhere without the hookshot and the Pegasus boots. I mean, that's the way it is for most of the game, let's be honest. We're pretty much at a point now where, unless we get the Pegasus boots or the hookshot, we really can't do too much. Or the flippers. The flippers would be helpful in some situations too. That's rupees. But like the Pegasus boots and the hookshot are like the main things you need to be able to do most things. Because other than that, as far as I mean, obviously as far as dungeon items go, we have pretty much everything else. We have the Rock's Feather, both power bracelets. And the mirror shield, and the magic rod, of course. But the magic rod you normally get in the last dungeon, the last normal dungeon, which means that really doesn't get you much. It really isn't used for anything. The level 2 power bracelet stuff, anything that you need the level 2 power bracelet for, that's in the Face Shrine. I mean, at least we can get more of that done. We just need the hookshot and the Pegasus boots to be able to do everything else. And the mirror shield, the only thing you absolutely have to have the mirror shield for, other than, I assume, beating the boss. I think the boss is a little bit temperamental with that. I mean, even then you don't really need to. You can just plug them with the magic rod a few times, or bomb arrows, and Bob's your uncle. But the only thing you absolutely have to have the mirror shield for is the flamethrower cave. And even then, there's an exploit that you can do. Like, if you let the flamethrower kill you, and you have a magic potion on you, or a health potion, I should say, to refill your hearts, you'll be invincible as your hearts are filling up for a little bit. So you can actually bypass the flamethrower cave without having the mirror shield at all. Oh, right, I forgot these guys are immune to the magic rod. The magic rod is not as OP as we remember it being. I know I said that before, but it you know, things bear repeating, I guess, sometimes. But it is nice that we do have the magic rod, because the Helmosaurs seem to be particularly vulnerable from the sides to it. Which is nice, because, again, we don't have the hookshot. And who even knows if we'll find the hookshot in here. I've gone through, you know, one dungeon which had 2 dungeon items in it. So there's got to be one of these dungeons that doesn't have a dungeon item in it. Or a couple of other ones, too, because the level 2 power bracelet was in a cave somewhere. So most of what we're going to be getting is just, like, you know, bombs or keys or useless dungeon items that I don't really need, because, you know, I don't really need a map or a compass or anything like that. I actually do need the hookshot here for stuff like this. That's not going to open up again. I need the hookshot to get through there. Well, I don't really need the hookshot to get through there, but I think I need it on the other side. I'm not going to risk it right now. Well, you know what? It doesn't hurt to try. You can get across, just take a lot of damage. And you do need the hookshot anyway. So I'm glad that I'm glad that I checked that out, I suppose. Luckily, if I die, I'll just end up at the beginning of the dungeon again, so it's fine. It's not like I went too far in anyway.